to unlock the live IQ Live channel.
All right.
And allow people to come in so that we can have a greater discussion. So Pickles, Twinkie, Perm, anybody else in chat that's an IQ member that would like to come have like a roundtable discussion about streaming topics, this kind of stuff in general, you are now invited to join the channel and just say hello and speak up and let us know you're here. General streaming topics. There's a few things that were suggested. Do you have anything that you wanted to talk about, Gin, for your channel? Let me just real quickly make a stream marker so that when I go to highlight and edit, download.
Is that a good idea to use a shotgun microphone?
No.
For streaming? No.
It's a terrible idea.
Still no. Still no.
It's a terrible
maybe.
idea. You want me to show you why?
Why?
Yeah, I have a shotgun mic right here.
No, I mean, but literally, I'd like to know why. I mean, think about it. It's you don't see it on screen, and that's kind of the benefit of it. Like,
this is why.
All right.
You may want to go to the stream and listen.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Give me a moment.
$200 shotgun mic.
Wait a minute.
A reasonable distance away, less than 2 feet.
Just a moment. I'm gonna mute the Discord.
Does this sound good to everybody? $200 shotgun mic.
Okay,
all right. Point it at me a little
less
bit
than
better.
2 feet.
Yeah. This is the distance. This is the distance. This microphone.
That's That's okay. Wait a minute, but that's
this is
like
a shotgun mic. What's wrong with using a shotgun microphone? You really can't be 2 feet away from it. It's got to be. Let me pull it down here. It's got to be like this. So now I sound a little normal. I can turn the gain down a little bit, but now it's in the shot. Now it's not outside the shot. Oh, it's outside the shot. But now you hear my room. Does this sound good to everybody? This is a. If I turn my head this way. If I turn my head this way.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
And compared to like the. Yeah, and compared to an SM7B, it's better. Yeah. And I don't think the type of
shotgun microphone. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think a $1,000 microphone would fix the problems. Yeah. By the way, Sonny, I don't know if you remember that, but back in like maybe 2020, which maybe it was the year that we met, or maybe 2019. I used the microphone that I used to use was a shotgun microphone from Sennheiser, and it was like one of the $1,000 ones.
Yeah, I know. I told you to stop because it sounded bad to me. So here's what you can use a shotgun mic for.
The echo effect. Yeah, we didn't delve into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you just. I have it turned down, and I do this. Okay, it's obviously too loud. It's too much.
I mean.
And
dude, can we do
this.
Can I actually apply the effect with the microphone that I just got, recently?
Of course. The soundboard.
Okay, oh yeah.
Oh,
nice.
That's both mics. That's why. Okay, so let me turn all this down. Turn this down. So the shotgun mic, the way I use it, is okay. So this is a normal stream talking blah blah blah. But if I get loud and I get crazy, it goes into the reverb.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So you can act like you don't have any special effects on your stream until you get crazy.
God, that's actually awesome. Yeah.
So the mic is really just there to produce an effect, and the effect is fine. It's fine because it's not your normal talking voice. It can be like in the background, and it doesn't have to be a part of the thing. So you want a shotgun mic can be used. It can be utilized in your setup so that you have a way to add flair or stuff to your stream, and then you have a main talking mic. It's just always going to sound better to have a microphone 5 inches from your mouth.
Man. Awesome.
Even a shotgun mic. You can use a shotgun mic. You can, if you get it 5 inches from your mouth, and you turn the gain way down.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
that makes
say
sense.
it's better, and I gotta turn this music down. I would say it's better to use a pencil condenser than a shotgun microphone.
A
I
pencil
would
condenser?
I would get a pencil condenser over a shotgun microphone every
I
time.
never heard of the term. It's a new to me. Pencil condenser.
I mean, if you want to have a mic that's slightly off screen, that's not shown on the stream, that is pointed at your mouth and is going to be a little better at what's a pencil condenser?
Yeah.
This
Sunny.
this is a pencil condenser.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, you have. Oh, you have it on set. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna see it. So it'll take that.
Oh, I should turn off.
Oh,
the
that's what
screen.
it is.
Pen.
It's a vape pen.
Hey, Taj. Hello.
Hylian Pickles has joined us. This, it needs phantom power. This is a monoprice one. It actually has. They don't sell this one anymore, but they do sell another one that's really good. They're very affordable. You can get 2 of them for $100. I bought these for recording guitar and drums and stuff like that. Actually bought them. I had 2 other ones that were really great, but one of the capacitors blew up on one.
Damn.
And I destroyed the other one. Well, I didn't destroy it, but I took it apart to a nightmare state. So I bought these.
So this is a great option.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones on monoprice are good. You can replace the cap so that you get different polar patterns. So I have the normal
Oh, one of those. Yeah.
heart-shaped, butt-shaped polar pattern.
Yeah.
Cardioid. They have omni-directional polar pattern. They're very sensitive, though, to wind and audio, like
Air conditioners that have audible hair.
direct
Audible.
direct wind. So
Oh, okay.
I literally use 2. So this is like the little windscreen that it came with, and then I have this one, which was for like I think the Q2U or something. Because if I don't do this, I have a lot of I have an overhead fan on. I've got a little fan on my desk to blow air onto me, and then this will pick up all of that. So right now I'm using that for recording my album. So if you're looking for a mic, a pencil condenser is a way better way to go, but I don't recommend using a condenser for most people because you really need to be kind of an audio person and really have the right equipment to dial it all in. And you're going to have to do... Everyone should do this anyway, no matter what mic you're using, but you're going to have to spend more time on a condenser to get the sound right. This is just like plug it in and you're pretty good. It's going to sound good going from the beginning. An SM7B, the Q2U, the Q2U is going to sound great. There's less fuss going from plugging it in to getting a good sound. You're going to spend a lot more time fixing a pencil condenser and making it sound right. It is possible. I've used them mostly for video production. I'm doing like if I was doing a shoot where it was a lot of the stuff that I did as a video producer was interview, like documentary style footage where we sit down talking heads, and audio is super important. So we'd use a lapel mic, and I bought the shotgun to do it, but the shotgun was so much worse than the pencil condensers. I just switched to the pencil condensers. So,
can you recommend any good level mic, by the way?
What's that?
Lavalier? Can you recommend
Lavalier
a
mic?
Lavalier,
Wired or wireless? You have the best lavalier mic on the planet already.
You mean the 300 one?
The cowboy mic.
No, here's the thing.
That's
the
a
cowboy
laugh.
is good.
That's the best one on the planet.
Is
You
it?
want to downgrade from that?
No, it's not. No, it's just that in case the cowboy thing. Sorry, what did we say again? The cowboy or the cowboy?
Cowboy mic.
Cowboy.
It's
There we
not
go.
even what it's called, but
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. I know that these things are really fragile, so I like a backup. So that's why I'm asking you.
get a second cowboy mic.
Come on. It's got to be a good lavalier mic.
No,
that's
it's
like...
not. There's not compared to that. That's always going to be better. Always.
All right.
And the
Noted.
price is very similar. A good lav, hundreds. Hundreds.
You might be, maybe it's actually a good thing that he told me this. Yeah, I was about to purchase one.
They're not cheap. The Rode, there's a new one that just came out. It's a Rode.
Yeah.
That thing's expensive. It's like $300. And it's like this big chunky boy that you hang on you. Like, it's not small. It doesn't even look good. It's actually kind of ridiculous.
That looks cubic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks the cube. Oh yeah.
Just
I've
buy
seen
another cowboy mic. It'd be cheaper.
All right. Yeah. Well, $300. Wait a minute. The one that I got was 200. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
it's
cheaper.
by
Yeah.
$80.
Yeah. Those things are not. They're not affordable. That's what I'll say. For a streamer, streamer budget, forget it.
I got it.
Streamer budget's like $12 a month.
Right.
People are like, I can't afford DeepBot. Well, now you got Streamer.bot, so.
Oh man.
I gotta get everybody switched over to Streamer.bot.
Oh man. Yeah, we need to talk about that in the next meetup with them.
I have some questions for you again.
Yeah.
And this is where we can kind of have a more broader discussion with whoever wants to drop in the channel. And welcome, Hylian. Pickles.
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome again.
I want to know what you feel like your biggest struggle with Twitch has been, again. Or struggles.
Struggles. Inconsistent view numbers. That's a struggle.
That sounds like an indirect. That's more like an indirect answer. Like, everyone struggles with viewers.
View count.
that's not unique.
You mean okay? You're looking for a unique.
How about this? What are the most difficult things that challenges that you've overcome through streaming?
Oh, okay. Oh, the ones that I've overcome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The fact that I set up everything into the new room and it actually sounds way better than the previous room that I've had.
Okay, so let's break this down. What do you mean? You mean like moving the room around was bad, or the fact that...
In particular, audio. I think the audio is better.
So your biggest challenge before was getting audio quality, and what fixed it was flooding your house.
Flooding my house.
Destroying the rooms.
Destroying the rooms, getting new equipment.
No, what really fixed it was moving everything around.
It's probably, it's probably moving everything around, yeah. No,
so
it is.
The arrangement of your room played a big role in fixing your audio problems.
You know, in front of my desk are actual insulated walls that involves, that the audio doesn't leak. So I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, I see. So you don't bother other people with your loudness?
More, like that. Also, Twinkie said something in chat. The way that I present myself and all, interesting. Did I? No, it's.
Was there an evolution of Gin?
Well, no, there is. I mean, there is an evolution. Okay, but how do I? But I should be specific here.
Be as specific as possible.
Well, it's really. I don't think that maybe there isn't a change.
There should be. There can't be no change.
I think there is.
How long have you been streaming?
I think there is, but I just can't point it out.
How long have you been streaming? I'll help you here.
Okay, 3 years.
Okay.
2019, 2020.
First stream. Do you remember your very first stream? Ever?
Yeah, I do. It was a TF2 stream, and I remember I was using a C922. I remember I actually remember the way that I used to talk.
Okay, let's just go with that.
It was pretty much rambling, like that. It was pretty like I had.
How much did you prepare for that first stream? Like, what do you remember? How much you did, like, set up?
Oh, none. I didn't prepare.
You can't say that because you did like put your camera in OBS and put your stream key in OBS.
Those are basic stuff.
That's still preparing.
Now. That's still.
So you did the bare minimum.
That's the bare minimum.
Okay, so you did the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a successful stream? That first stream.
The first stream was successful?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it was not. No.
No, it was a failure. You failed at your first stream.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine. It's better to succeed or fail than to just be stuck in doing neither and getting nowhere. So what's the growth been from that stream to Gin today?
Well, I used to have 5 viewers and now 24, 25.
Not that.
Yeah.
I mean you personally on camera.
Oh, wait. What's the personal growth? Or is it like, what's the...
Well, I mean, 5 people found what you were doing in that very first stream enjoyable, but now 25 people find what you're doing enjoyable. How did you get there? Was there anything that, like, along the way that made you realize what needed to change from just doing the bare minimum to overblown plugins and scenes in your OBS?
Well, first of all, I mean, during that transition, I just kept doing it. I just kept hitting the start stream button with the minimal requirement. I did meet some friends, meet some more other friends from different communities. I wasn't doing that before. It was like the Audiosurf 2 community. We hang out, and I was like really popular in that category, like actually always being number one considering that. But that's there were like a couple of more streamers also streaming Audiosurf 2 back then, 6 or 7, and some people from the community know me, so I became more social as a result, and with that I carried over the torch from the Audiosurf community to other different communities that play different games, and it was like general games like Darkest Dungeon actually. Darkest Dungeon was one of them. And I remember that's how I met Jared, which basically means that I got involved into their community, and in return it was I found IQ, and well, I met more, and because of that I gained more insight on a lot of things that are not just streaming, but it actually influenced how I do things in my personal life that led me to where I am. I hope was that the answer they were looking for?
I wasn't looking for an answer. I was waiting for an answer, and that was a good one. Yeah. What do you think's been the most impactful thing on in your growth? What was, if you could pinpoint one thing that you did that other people could try to do? Does that exist?
Okay. If I could point one thing that you or maybe even Twinkie Talks would be able to simulate, you mean?
Sure. What if you could advise someone to focus in an area, where would it be?
Presentation. It would be presentation.
So
how do you present yourself?
Okay.
There's a huge gap of a difference between the person who I used to stream at 2019, where I was doing the minimum, and the difference between my current streams that I do, which is like 2021. Usually, right now, and I'm saying usually, my streams involves a certain goal that I make the people aware of, such as, hey, I'm playing this game for a challenge to accomplish. So it's not just really just me playing a game. Sometimes the things that I do, the streams that I do, involves the community. For example, it was the speed run. Oh yeah, I remember now. Okay, there's a good one. I mean, there's the one that people could simulate, but I just need to explain like a little bit of a story here. Tidying up the bed. Hey Taj, do you remember that? If you're still here.
Ty.
Ty. I keep saying Taj, but I think I'm used to it. My bad. Ty, the speeding up the bed thing. I think you can remember this. I had a channel redemption, where I need to explain the what's tidying up the bed was. It was basically a thing where I put up speedrun counter, at the corner of the stream whenever I switched the scene, and the whole thing was about me, tidying up the bed as fast as possible. Now, the way that I involved my community with it was to add a channel point redemption where they suggest the type or the next bit of the thing that should be included into the tidying up this bed speedrun, basically. And it was cool. I actually added like one more. I didn't add more than that. Like I added one suggestion that was doable, such as taking off my socks, and I think that was one of the what the community suggested actually. Can't be perfectly precise, but basically it's not just me. It wasn't just me playing a game. It was just me being uh very, I don't know, trying to do something that not a lot of people have done. But considering that, Sonny, you told me what is the something that can anybody take from me to simulate? This is why I said presentation. And just a little bit of like think. I usually think of something that involves, the people who watch, that they can participate into, and it doesn't have to be necessarily involve paying tips. I actually don't like the idea that if I wanted anybody to participate, I try not to do anything that relates to, hey, they gotta pay tips or something like that. That doesn't make sense to me. No, not in the not in the current stage that I'm at. It won't work. Um, because I'm in a low stage where I just need some more people they should be real close with, that it should be real close with. Hopefully that makes sense. Um,
Yeah, I think.
yeah,
So your suggestion to others is to work on their presentation while they're live, who they are on stream.
yeah, yeah.
Is that something that's like manufactured, like fake, or is it something that you just mean like it's still you, but it's more thought out how you sound?
It's still me, but how it's well more thought of how I sound. Yeah,
Okay.
still
Um,
me.
what are some things that you think you did to adjust? So who were you when you first started, and who are you now?
Uh,
You were
who
were
I
you just
was?
were you just gamer again, playing games, and it was just whatever, and now
Yeah, that was it.
now
It
you've
was
got
really
like a
just game
show.
again.
Now you've got more like a show, where the people are
Yeah,
interacting.
yeah.
So
That's how I like to
the
take it, consider it as a show. And because of that, that's why my streams are always not are evolving to be not the same. And I'm not counting the Omori streams because that is its own different thing. And once I'm done with Omori, I will be kind of less active on Twitch, but for a good reason, is because I'd like to do also stream on Twitch, it just with a little bit of, something different,
okay,
because I am considered as a show and I am serious about it, and
mm-hmm.
I don't want to and I want to use my full potential here. I
That's
know that I can do much more things
okay.
than
That's
just
good.
playing a game. Yeah,
Um, Actually, I want to ask Pickles about this because this is part. This is we actually had a conversation kind of along these lines in our
yeah,
last meeting, um, where it's really about value, right? Like there's ways to offer value to your viewers that are beyond just I'm a dude playing games. And there's a lot of ways to do that, and finding the value in what you're doing gives you the opportunity to put twists there as well, like the twist on what you're doing. Like for instance, Hylian Pickles does art streams, but the value of the art streams, that's just pretty basic and obvious where the value is. You're watching an artist make something. But the twist that he does is he allows his community to have input on what he's making, because he's making like a community comic.
yeah,
Your twist, Gin, is more like you have these events and things that trigger from the community, and and people give you ways to tweak what you're doing and
yeah,
modify the presentation. Um,
yeah.
so the show
Actually,
is
that's one of the
interactive.
toes. That's actually one of the twists.
Yeah.
The other twist would be literally just, throw in something that people would never not expect to see, and then it would basically be the hook for them. I actually do that a couple of times in my scenes, or more like used to, because I can't do it often. If I do it often, that means that suggests that I would have added way too much time pre-stream. That means before I hit the start stream button, um, and well, it is not the case, and I'm aware of it. So yeah, it's
This is a hard place for people to. Hey, Perm. This is a
hey,
hard.
Perm.
I think this is the hardest thing for streamers to do, because it's super easy to just turn on the game, go in the game category, and start streaming
easy.
and just play. How
Yeah.
so? Giving people advice on where to find or create value, that is beyond dude or lady or whatever you identify as playing game. That's the key to most success on Twitch, and I think a lot of people mistakenly think that the value comes through the show itself, like creating the show, and so they'll make a character, right? They're like, I am mad scientist, or I am VTuber, whatever it is. And that doesn't actually directly create value to your viewer. The value needs to be something that people can kind of connect with and latch onto and feel a level of influence, like they have influence over what's happening. It doesn't have to be as direct. I think this can go too far in one direction, where the streamer just kind of gives all the value in that direction, where it's like the streamer doesn't even pick the games anymore. It's just community choice always.
Yeah.
And then new viewers don't know how to latch onto that. So you need to find a value that is obvious to new viewers, and something long lasting enough that your regular viewers feel connected to. Reward structures are good, but it's harder to twist. So the twist is where you get to expand on the value, right? Hylian Pickles,
right.
Have you had more thoughts on this since we talked about it?
On my own,
because you're struggling with this yourself.
Value, or like adding a twist to rewards.
Well, no, I mean, like, the thing is, your stream is already like healthy in certain areas, and it has weakness, right? Which is what we talked about. So, if you can figure this out, I think we can figure out how to communicate this to others. You know what I mean? At this point, it wasn't even that long ago that we talked. So, this is not as simple. This isn't going to be like you're going to figure this out in a couple of days or even a couple of months. It could take you months to really sort out where this stuff lies. And sometimes it takes the viewers to like kind of open up those doors for you. And so I'm just wondering where you're at with this.
I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it. Cause
I think that's where most people are at. If I were to turn my stream on, I don't know that I would be able to just make a game stream work. I think making gaming streams work is just so hard. It's almost valueless because there's so many people doing it. Right?
Yeah. That's why I used to change it.
I think one of the important things that Gin was talking about like presentation and stuff, kind of just boils down to create memories out of the shared experiences that you have put out on stream.
Yeah, that's one way to make sure there's value for your current viewers.
Yeah, that's one way.
Like do something that will make people remember you.
That one's hard too.
That is actually, this is one I target the most. How to make people remember me. And I remember speaking of it, there are a couple of moments where I met new people who remember me from just one certain clips, and I tend to like take notes on that for my brain so that maybe I use it again, but on another different person, but maybe with a better twist, and I see how they react. Yeah, it's something I think that new streamers should like take notes about how they like what's the What do other things? What do other things from themselves when it comes to first impressions? And I'm talking about what's the after impression, because that'd be just first impressions have a lot of value.
Oh, that's the whole space we're in.
That's
It's
a whole
first impressions.
Yeah.
And I think from the streamer side, it can be very difficult to balance this because you tell the joke and then you told the joke. And so it's hard to tell the joke again. Right?
Yeah.
It's hard to repeat, especially if you're somebody who's more like a quick wit and you've got a joke in the moment. It can be hard to translate that to new viewers that's who you are, that you're just like this quirky, quick-witted jokester. And if only they had been there when you told the joke 20 seconds ago, but they just showed up in the stream now. So the show aspect can help you kind of formulate how, if you're a humorous person or you're good at making jokes or making people laugh or having a good time, making memories, these trying to figure out how to produce value in that so that new viewers who are coming in randomly see the value and it becomes obvious what you offer. And that is tough. And I think you can overdo it. Like these weird pre-recorded reaction videos. They feel a little bit like disingenuous sometimes, where like a raid response video. How do you guys feel about those stuff?
I don't like raid response videos. I like the idea of clips as like a BRB screen.
Sure. Because clips.
Like I think there's value in having those, but just putting them in the right places.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, make it, if you're going to make a clip, make it short. Like, hey, hi people, wave your hand, cut it there. That's genuine. If you go further than that, now it's fabricated.
That's the fear I have with the whole raid response video thing. It's like, not if it doesn't really reflect the reality of the stream. Like the raid response video is all hype and crazy and fun and funny, and then cut to the real stream and it's like, okay, guys.
And that's the day your grandmother died. Yeah.
Okay, so
like in my mind, a raid response video it shows insecurity. Because you're like pulling out like quote unquote the best parts of your stream to show new people instead
cherry
of just,
picking. Yeah.
Oh, you mean that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of what Matt Good does, which is himself appearing on stream and saying hi.
Well, that's not a video, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's like a special alert.
Yeah, that's a special alert he makes. Okay, I get. Yeah. No, I would never do that. You would do that for the trailer to your stream, but
right. So
there's a response
there's a danger in overproducing your stream, where it's not a live stream, and the value is now in these moments that are pre-produced, and not really a part of what's happening with the actual stream. Like your stream is just a giant BRB screen with videos, like clips.
Like if you do too much, then like anytime anything happens, it's gonna pull away from the actual stream. It's gonna be like there won't be an actual live stream anymore. It'll just be like clips here, alerts there, and like just nothing in between. If you overproduce,
Right. So the value needs to be more present. You can't fake the value through cherry picking those moments. If you feel like you're funny and you're quick-witted, then you need to be funny and quick-witted all the time, not just the 10 seconds here and 10 seconds there, rinse and repeat. You get 6 funny moments in 6 hours. Maybe you're not as funny as you think you are. One of the things we talked about was, and we were going to probably bring this up on the podcast at some point, but I had put together that archetype wheel. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should actually bring this up on stream, so we can kind of discuss this. It's in the podcast chat, right? I can go back. There it is. So open original. Let's bring this down here. Okay. So this archetype wheel thing, if you guys haven't seen it, You guys have all seen this, right?
All right, I'm taking a look. Ah. Wait a minute. Is that best friend Snazzy? What is this?
Yeah.
Is that Snazzy? Hold on.
Yeah.
Snazzy is everybody's best friend. Come on, now.
Man, he is. It's actually true.
You know, I was like stuttering. I was stuttering for a moment because like I saw the first thing that I saw in the circle was Asmongold, and then all of a sudden Snazzy, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, something is wrong here. Who made this?
This is
Who
a
made
very
this?
rough draft of a concept that I wanted to kind of help people figure out where they might sit. And this isn't the be all end all, but a lot of these archetypes are pulled straight out of other psychological situations. And what I did is I kind of applied it towards streaming genres. And I think most people have a tendency to look at the outside of the wheel. And really, the reality is those are very specific. That's where you get to like the specific execution of a concept. But really what you want to focus on more is the inside first, especially. The outside of the wheel is a little bit more adaptive. So yeah, I guess let's just talk about this. So Gin, where do you think you fall on the center of the four?
On the center, like we have the 4 choices. I mean, educator, role module, field expert.
Right.
You asking me to which
friendship.
one to choose?
What kind of streamer would you put yourself in relationship to why the value of what people are there for?
Okay, hold on a minute. Let's see. Definitely not a role model. Yeah. Also, definitely not an educator. I mean, at least not yet. Field expert at taking a shit. But yeah, friendship. I think friendship.
Friendship.
I think friendship too.
Yeah.
Most streamers probably fall into the friendship category. You notice how none of the categories are gamer. Right?
Yeah, there's no gamer. I mean, like, yeah, there's not even the gamer
The
world.
closest
Yeah.
thing is the field expert, and that we're talking that is pro gamers. That's not just gamer. That these are pros and challenge runners, speed runners,
Hitless, deathless guys.
yeah,
players.
and you can do that. You can bleed your stream over into field expert. You can be a friendship streamer like Snazzy and have streams that are challenge runs. He does them all the time, but his people aren't there because he is the 100% no hit guy. They're not there to like watch him be the field expert. Does that make sense? They're there. It's value added content that Snazzy makes and brings, but people are there because, man, Snazzy is like the Mr. Rogers of streaming, right? They're there to connect and feel good and hang out with they feel close, like he's like their best friend. That's what Snazzy's real value comes from. Now,
I think you're missing a category on this wheel, though.
What's that?
Voice. Some people I will just listen because they have a soothing voice.
That would actually be under beauty.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it would be definitely on beauty.
That's a beauty category, but it's still friendship.
Hey, it is. Yeah. Oh,
If you like someone because of something that they do, that's usually a friendship category. Like,
okay, I get it. Okay.
I like
That's
I like
fine.
the way
You
your
see, if you
eyes
want to
look.
see it like
I
that,
like
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, friendship doesn't. It's not supposed to be this really narrow thing. It's actually a very broad thing. The comedian is in friendship because it's nice to laugh together with your friends. It has a friendly, inviting, open community feel to it. Whereas an educator, you're there to learn something. Like this stream is about more of in the educator field. We're not here to be your best friend and hang out with you and make you feel good from your long work day. And we're not here to make you laugh about everything. You're not here for those reasons. You're here because you would like to improve, learn, think, the skill up. See the gray section, the gray subcategories are just like meta concepts from this. And so an educator branches out into these things, and sometimes they specialize. Like I have Jared under teacher because he runs these Darkest Dungeon streams, or he did a lot of those lore Dark Soul streams. This is how he grew his stream. This is where his growth came from.
It fits that he's a teacher.
Yeah.
It really fits.
He teaches you whether or not a game is worth buying sometimes. He speaks from that teacher kind of authority, and the value of hanging out with Jared. A lot of it comes from he's also a friend. He's got that community review thing. People are there to laugh and hang out, and they feel like they belong. The beard is a part of the beauty category, even though he shaved it off.
He needs more beard to fall into the beauty category.
Well, he used to have it, so you know.
I love you, Jared.
So the role model one is the one I think a lot of streamers make the mistake of trying to fit into. And I don't think most people, I think this is something that kind of happenstance happens through your streaming. You become a role model, positive or negative. That it's not necessarily have to be a positive thing. You could have negative role models, people that shouldn't have, you know, or the hero villain / category where, you know, they have a bad attitude. They're negative. But either way, you're having an impression on people, and role models are usually the most agitative or contentious role to play. People either absolutely love you or they hate you. They're just super annoyed with you. And so it's a very contentious role to take, which is why it's usually a top streamer that ends up in these positions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When there's somebody controversial, then there's people taking sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. And it can get confusing because I think a lot of people I think some of the people would feel like they're a role model when they're really more of an educator or a preacher. And the lines feel blurred. There is a reason why it's right next to educator. And you're not a hard and fast anything on this wheel, but it can be good to know where your strengths are on this wheel, because some things clash, right? So here, for instance, if you're going to be a preacher, you know that you're the preacher guy. Like, you know that you're going to be thought-provoking and your content is going to be about telling people. A preacher's kind of someone who tells you how to feel and think. Or at least they hope you feel and think the way that they do, and they really want that. It's going to be very hard to be a comedian and best friend as a preacher. They're like opposite ends of the spectrum here. It's very, very difficult. It can also be very difficult for the challenge runner to be like a beauty streamer or a comedian. Like, if you're a challenge runner and you're just trying to make people laugh all the time, that can actually turn away viewers because they're there to see you do the thing you're really good at, which is beat the game very quickly or whatever it is. So sometimes mixing these can be detrimental to your stream. And it's better for you to figure out, where are my strengths? How do I lean into them? And the way you can do that is, if you're a best friend streamer, if you can strengthen the subcategories or network with the subcategory style streamers. So Snazzy would do really well to co-stream with another comedian who's maybe a comedian. Their communities would have a lot more crossover, because the viewers of Snazzy stream are probably going to tend towards watching a beauty streamer and a comedian more than they're going to tend to watch a preacher and an elder. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So this can kind of help you sometimes it's easier to figure out where other people are than where you're at. Sometimes you just need someone like me to come in and be like, no, you're a role model, or you're an advisor, or you're a teacher. Then once you have that, you can be like, oh, well, that explains why I'm a comedian, so I love watching Snazzy and I love watching The Great Skeleton Man, and I'm more attracted to clicking on like beauty streamers or if you're an art streamer and you like watching other artists. Like, it can kind of help you narrow down where you should bring your focus, because you know that the people who are watching those streams might tend to actually watch your stream too. And maybe it would be helpful for you as a best friend streamer to clean up your stream or your room, because you can know that people tend to watch beauty streamers and best friend streamers. The viewer crossover is greater. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that I got nothing to add. That you hit it, you hit it, in a good way.
So where do you guys think you fall on this wheel? I mean, we did you again. Let's go to Pickles.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a beauty streamer.
Yeah, beauty streamer. Yeah, 100%.
Oh man.
You've got
No,
friendship
I'm-
and creative going on.
Yeah, I'm definitely like in the best friend artist.
Beauty
camp.
doesn't just mean physical attraction too.
No, I know.
The
But
fact
I
that
don't-
no,
I don't know if
you
people
are a
like
little bit
my
of a beauty
voice
streamer.
or-
No, but you are a little bit of a beauty streamer because you're sharing your relationship, which is a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's beauty in more than just physical attraction.
no, I know.
Like a beauty streamer takes a lot of work and effort in a lot of cases. Like it's not easy to be a cosplayer or a body painter and put yourself out there in that way. And it has nothing to do with how attractive the person is. It has to do with the presentation the person is giving and whether or not that it has a positive vibe influence on. It's about attraction, and there's something attractive about a couple streaming together and having a relationship that's kind of open enough to share. Does that make sense?
Yay.
Yeah, like none of these mean like comedian doesn't mean you stand up there with a mic and tell jokes.
No.
right? It just means like you're funny. You have a lot of jokes.
Laughter
Like,
is
there's a lot of memes. And,
Yeah, laughter is a part of the
Humor.
stream. People are there because they're laughing and they're having a good time and it's funny and they find your reactions funny. Literally, you
Right.
don't have to be a comedian. You could just be like comical in how scary games make you freak out, and people like watching that.
like the Great Skeleton Man. He's definitely like a comedian.
Yeah, we've been over that with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So there is some value if you know that people are there to laugh, to spend time figuring out comedy. Study comedy a little bit. Comedic timing is important.
Improv.
I think improv has value for all streamers, period.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it gives you comedic chops. In
No.
fact, it can actually hurt your comedic chops in some way, because improv circles tend to be super warming, welcome, inviting, and friendly, to the point where the people who aren't funny are getting the same like positive feedback as the funniest people in the group. And it can be very hard when you don't have proper criticism to improve your comedy chops when everything you do is right. They're just happy if you follow the yes and rule. So
Like listen to podcasts from comedians
Mm-hmm.
where they like talk about their career,
Mhm.
not like how to be funny, but just like their life, their
Mhm.
experiences, and then that'll boil down to like what makes things naturally funny.
watch a lot of slapstick movies and movies that people love and make you laugh. If you're a best friend streamer, that one's the hardest one to pull off, because this is where I think a huge percentage, like a giant percentage, 75 to 80, maybe 90% of streamers fall into the best friend streamer category. Besides like the people who think they're just really good at video games and then they fail to realize they're not a field expert, but they think they are, because I'm really good at League of Legends, and so people are going to watch me like wreck mid lane all game, and you're not a field expert because you're not a pro and you're not a challenge runner. Being very good at something, unless it's more niche, it can't be I'm very good at video games. It just can't be. It's just like a piece of sand on the beach at that point. You need to stand out more. Being a good artist, that's gonna help you stand out more. Being a field expert, like an advisor, medical professional, psychologist. I mean, these things aren't as simple as just being good at video games. You really have to, like Healthy Gamer, you have to. He's got like a PhD. Like these people put a lot of time and money into their field expert, right?
Yeah.
You don't just turn your stream on and be a field expert. Artists you're not an artist overnight. Even the best artists in the world spend thousands and thousands of hours practicing their art.
Years and years. Yeah.
So, and being an educator usually requires that you're some sort of field expert. You're just using it differently usually.
Did we ask Permo what spot on the wheel he is in?
I was about to get there actually. So,
Oh.
go ahead, Perm. Tell us where you live on this wheel.
That depends on with whom I'm talking and what's the mood of the stream. I go from educator to sometimes people see me as a role model because of my age, and sometimes I fall into friendship.
This is where, so if you're all over the place like that, this is where you need to kind of like figure out your strongest thing and where you can
But
create value.
most of the time, I will fall into friendship.
Yeah. Obviously you're going to jump around. Jared jumps around. He's not always being a teacher. So a lot of times he's being a comedian or a best friend.
And the hat I wear falls into beauty and comedian.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
It does. So
That was the point of the hat, is when people see who's online, they see the hat and they say, "What's that?" And they click on it. It's a clickbait. That's all
Sure.
it is.
yeah, that's what you want.
Don't tell
Yeah.
anyone though. This is off the record.
Oh man, yeah, and like figuring out where the wheel can help you figure out where you might want to actually take your audience in your stream, and where you want to, what you can work on, and how you can lean into strengths, right?
This is a really good chart. Yeah.
It's helpful. It's not completely complete, and some of it needs to be shifted around. This is like a original first draft. I feel like I need to move Smith and Artist. Artist needs to be on the edge. Challenge Runner needs to be in the middle of its little category. Smith and Teacher need to switch positions so that Artist and Smith are right next to each other because they share stuff. That doing stuff like because like Preacher and Elder share stuff, and Hero and Villain is closer to Beauty. Although Outlaw could actually be kind of in there too, but I'd say
That's a role model, if you ask me.
Hero and Villain are closer to either Beauty or Best Friend. So I might actually move those around so that just like the lines, you can kind of see how things kind of cross over each other a little bit. And just to be careful that it's hard to go from educator to best friend. To go from educator to friendship is a difficult transition. Because if people are there because they like learning from you, it's like seeing your teacher at the bar is awkward.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Apparently you've never been to college.
No, I have 2 degrees, so I have been to many colleges.
Wow.
I almost have 3 degrees.
Experience.
No, I was, I'm making a joke here, right?
It is awkward. I know how awkward it is to see your teacher at the bar or whatever. It's not really, you're not there to hang out with your teacher.
Well, I did.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe you
good
had good
grades, too.
teachers. There can be good teachers that are more likely to hang out with and that you can develop a friendship with. But crossing that bridge for most people is difficult.
Not all teachers are able to cross that bar.
And
You're right.
a lot of
It
times
is
it's
a special
inappropriate.
skill.
It can also be very inappropriate.
Yes.
So this is why you need to be careful. It can be it's also very inappropriate for a beauty streamer to become a preacher all of a sudden. It's awkward for the viewers. If people are there because you're like really good at doing cosplay, and then all of a sudden you're like telling people how to think about politics or what the way the world should be. Like, do you see how
Anime. Yeah.
your viewers all of a sudden don't know what they're there for anymore, if they should be there, because they were there because they're enjoying the the show, the beauty show, the attractiveness of what they're doing. They're there because it's comforting, and then all of a sudden you're making them uncomfortable because you're telling them how to think.
Yeah, there's a line I don't cross is opinions. I can talk about, what is capitalism, and we can talk about that for hours, but I won't say capitalism is good or capitalism is bad. That's another game. If you enter that game, if you lay down your opinions, you are now labeled, and you cannot get out of there. You have chosen your corner.
My point is, you can do whatever you want on your stream. Just be very careful and mindful of the fact that things will clash. Jared was actually incredibly lucky. He played it perfectly, but it didn't happen overnight either, right? People came for the educational side of his stream, the new viewers, the growth, and they stayed for the friendship side of his stream. And he did this very, very specifically and carefully, using educational style streams and then the community review. And community review, it was instantly obvious that this was not the educational side of what, right? It's not the same at all.
Yeah.
And it takes people from the one category to the other and allows him to kind of like combine them properly. And Jared's not more towards the preacher side of his teaching. He's just trying to share his experience and stuff. His educator role is very welcoming.
So sharing experience is more elder than at this point.
It's harder to be, if you're going to be an educator, the kind of educator, like Jared's teaching people how to play video games. This is like friends do that. That's more of a friendly kind of education to begin with, right?
Right.
If he was trying to teach people how to solder, and what's the best microphone on the planet, it's going to be much harder for him to bridge the gap from that kind of education to friendship. Whereas you kind of already share a level of friendship with the gaming, and learning how to be really good at a game. There's like a friendship element in that already. So it wasn't a far reach for him, and it wasn't dangerous. So it's just good to understand where the limitations are on this stuff. If you're going to really, really lean hardcore in an educator, be a teacher, a smith, and a preacher, that you should stay all the way away from the beauty, comedy, best friend stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like lean hard.
Lean in harder.
Lean hard.
Lean in harder. 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Kuma, where do you feel like you fit on this? I mean, you're not in voice, but you guys in chat can tell us where you think you fit on the wheel. Sword, if you're still here. I want to know where you guys feel like you fit.
I think Kuma is an artist of shitposting. Yeah.
He said he's a just chatting streamer, so I would put him in friendship as well. But again, this is so hard. It is so... There's not enough respect from most streamers in their attitude towards what they're trying to achieve. It is a million times easier to be a field expert as a streamer or an educator than it is the role model friendship. Like the right side of the graph is way harder to make work, and role model is like super hard mode. You're right.
Well, that's the thing is, if you want to impose yourself as a role model, that also makes you kind of a field expert. You better be good at what you're talking of when you're telling people what to think.
What is Asmongold a field expert of? World of Warcraft? Asmongold's not a field expert.
I'm an expert at life. I'm going to tell you how to breathe. No.
He's not a field expert, but he is a role model. And it's because of it's honestly because of his maturity, the way he people watch him and enjoy Asmongold because he rubs off on them in the right way.
I think you become a role model, but you cannot just say, I'll be a role model. You cannot place yourself on the wheel like that. You can lean on it once you discover that you're one, but you cannot just say, I'll be a role model for all those youngsters. No, that won't work.
No, I think the role model thing is like something that happens for the right streamer automatically. It's hard to
Or for the right crowd, because
That's trying to be an outlaw is just cringe if no one knows who you are. It just makes you seem like this abrasive person that when you see someone has 20K viewers and they're freaking out and like yelling and like their mic sounds like shit and they're just like being abrasive, it's more accepted because there's already a crowd. People are already watching it. But when it's just some dude with 2 viewers and he's doing the same thing, it doesn't come off the same way. It doesn't work.
it comes out as self-centered and how do you say it? Narcissistic.
Yeah. So, but like I said, most people fit into the friendship category, and I feel like this is where they have the most trouble as well, because the majority of people on Twitch are doing this. So it's very hard to stand out when everybody's trying to be everyone's best friend. And this is where all the networking, it just becomes like the same all over the place. Everyone's just hanging out with chat and they're having a good time and they're all friends and it's like the greater friendship community, but it's not unique enough. This is why I say, if you can strengthen the subcategories, the beauty and the comedy side, and the beauty has also to do with your stream aesthetic, your stream layout, what your stream looks like on Twitch, what your panels look like. These all play into beauty and attraction, the attractiveness of your channel.
And you have to change stuff around, because if you stay the same, people will just get habituated to it and won't see it anymore.
That's also true. A part of beauty is the work of getting showered, washing your face, putting on day cream and foundation, and you see what I'm saying? Like it's not a one and done thing. Yeah, wearing a shirt that makes you look good on camera, not just something you're comfortable in. There has to be a little bit more thought. So you give yourself an edge in the category that you're in when you strengthen. This is one of the things I try to do for my clients, is help them strengthen the beauty of the stream. Strengthening the beauty of your stream is a good idea for most streamers, because most streamers are in the friendship category. It's also a good idea for field experts and educators to have an attractive stream. The audio quality, the video quality, all of that stuff. Beauty is important for pretty much everyone, except the role models can get away with having a trash stream usually, which is very interesting. Because it's way more about the person, and it doesn't matter, what the shape of their camera is or how good their mic sounds.
I mean, look at Tyler One. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's still using the same shitty headset mic he always
on
has.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah. So, a friendship and beauty, it's that's where a lot of influence can come from in the friendship category, and strengthening your comedy chops, and if you're a comedian, strengthening your best friend belonging, allowing people to feel connected to you, the person, is also good. So
Kuma just said something very interesting. He says, "It's frustrating how I know what I want to do and where I could push my position as a streamer, but just tricky to make it work and have people enjoy it beyond lurkers and friends I have on Twitch."
I want to know I want to dig into that more with Kuma.
Yeah, that's very.
He
deep.
knows what he wants to do. What do you want to do?
But
Kuma,
but
tell us what
here's
you
the
want to do.
Yeah, what do you want to be?
What is it that you want to do?
Yeah. Peer pressure.
What is it you want to do?
Oh man.
He wants to be a real boy. I'm at a stage right now where as much as this wheel kind of is helpful, it can also become a place where streamers will just get lost. And I'd rather you turn your stream on and just keep these things in mind than not stream until you figure the wheel out. Does that make sense?
It's not about choosing your place. It's about finding where you land first. And then once you find where you land, you turn that up. Those aspects of your stream, you turn those up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You lean into them. And the wheel can help you kind of figure out if you don't really know what the hell you're going to do. with your stream or what you want to offer, it could kind of help you figure that out. I mean, most of the successful, all of the successful, this wheel didn't exist until like months ago. Like, the successful people on Twitch didn't need this wheel. They didn't need it. They didn't need to look at a chart and figure out where they are and all this stuff. I think this is helpful for people now because you can't, it's hard to put your finger on what's working and what's not working and what's happening, right? So much harder. Yeah. So much harder to figure out all that stuff. This helps a little bit, I think, and then from that perspective, it's good. But
it does help a little bit. Appreciate it.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah.
You can flex a muscle you don't know you have.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Well, you can, but you don't know what it's doing.
And it can be difficult to avoid pitfalls if nobody says, "Hey, by the way, I'm here because you're really good at the game, and I'm not here because you're funny."
I've had that before. It's
what?
funny.
What? Yeah. Somebody told you you're really good at the game and that you shouldn't try to be funny?
No, yeah, something along the lines of, "Hey, I want to watch you play the game more than watching you not play the game." Yeah. So basically, we just wanted to see the game, which kind of felt like, man, he should have been on YouTube.
That's
I know.
That's sad. Someone who didn't
understand
where they were at. It wasn't clear to them what you were doing, or they were trying to assert their power over the streamer, or.
Yeah, no.
I would deal with them as I would with trolls.
Those types of people are always interested in a certain type of stream, which probably falls into like the field expert more than anything. But like,
right. Yeah. And
that's not.
You don't have to cater your stream to that one kind of viewer either. It can be helpful to be like, okay, well, I don't need you as a viewer. If you're not here for what
It's a shame though. I always feel kind of bad whenever someone tells me like that.
I know it sucks to have the attitude.
Bad to hear, yeah.
You don't even have to address them.
Well, no,
just ignore them.
I get what Gin's saying. Gin's saying, "Hey, I want everyone to have a good time and hang out, and I want to connect with more people." So ostracizing one person because they don't want the funniness that I bring, it's almost like you want to cater to everybody, and you can't, but you want to.
Well, okay, I get it. You have a
Can I help like give him a big smile in front of the stream and be like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay."
So Kuma
said, and then there you go.
Yeah. Kuma said, basically a good conversational and supportive type of streamer who can engage on plenty of topics and have dialogue. I don't know how to phrase it right and not sound like I just want to be a role model. I mean, maybe, Kuma, the thing that you need to work on is to narrow this down more and figure out how to define this so that you're not all over the place with what you're doing, so that new viewers, when they come in, it's obvious to them the value again. Because a good conversational and supportive type of streamer is very ambiguous, right? It's almost too ambiguous for a viewer to latch on to it. You can be a good conversationalist and be very supportive, but a new viewer, that may not be enough for them to latch on to what you're offering, right? Maybe you need to hone in on what those things actually look like and mean, so you can figure out like channel redemptions that point to it, and responses and jokes and things. One of the things I find helpful for streamers is the inside joke room. There's always like a space for like the community humor and the inside jokes. Those need to be, you need to be careful with those on a couple of levels. They can be dangerous because they can make new viewers feel like they're not on the inside of your community. Just like having mods that are too like together.
Wait, that's why I'm slowly taking out the halal thing.
The halal thing is open enough, I think, though, that...
No, it is not.
It's not? Why do you feel like it's weak?
No, I just don't notice enough responses. That's why I'm saying it's not.
I see.
That's why
It resonates more with you than with the people in your audience. Is that what you're saying?
some people resonates with it, but you know, when looking down on how many people I've met, and how many times I've said either the word halal or triggered the halal thing or etc., I realized how you know the margin of difference, and along the time I'm like, okay, I think it's better to just that I don't do it.
Okay.
That's what I found out. Yeah.
Okay.
And just like go for something
The inside
that,
joke thing is
more common.
It is more dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Because you can't expect new viewers will get the joke.
Yep.
And it's not something you should intro the viewer into your community with.
Like I
Right.
used to, just a part of my personality in general is, like I have Sunny speak, Sunny-lish or whatever. I say things that nobody says. They're not words. They're like noises that I've made up that mean things to me. It's my own language, and I say that stuff. I used to say that stuff like crazy on my stream. Like when I would get excited, I'd say yahi, and you know, if something's annoying, I'll say like "Oya kapa," and you know, these are like just noises. They don't mean anything. It's hard.
Cowabunga.
It's
This
hard.
is the cowabunga.
It's hard for new viewers to latch onto those things. Yeah, I'm a Super Mario character. There's a danger in making your community too much of an insider thing, and making your stream not have a wide appeal because there's like a learning curve to who you are and what the stream is. And man, growing your stream with a learning curve that takes like a couple of weeks of watching you to get that's gonna be hard. I think that can work if you're already successful. You can kind of like move in those directions and give your stream more depth. But as a new streamer, you need people to get it right away. 10 seconds. The first 10 seconds that they're in your stream, they need to already be like getting it.
Like, yeah.
Ooh, what's this? That you need that feeling. That's a tough place.
You need to give them the shiny. Ooh, a shiny. Oh.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
Stream.
Yeah.
Nice shiny there.
So yeah, this is the hardest thing for new streamers to try to figure out. And then even long-term streamers that are just streaming to like 10 to 12 viewers, they still haven't figured this out. So do yourself a favor and start figuring this stuff out. You know, don't fall into the traps of inside jokes. It can be very easy to allow chat to kind of like dictate the stuff that's valuable in your stream because someone in chat likes something you do, and now you think that that's the thing that new viewers will like. No.
Yeah, don't do that.
This is a very slippery slope.
Yeah. I can see why.
One person is not a big enough group. 10 people is not a big enough group to indicate why people will like your stream. So it's like too small of a focus group. There's not enough diversity. There's not enough to tell you anything. Oh, I really like it when you play this game. Right? And then you play that game for months and your stream doesn't grow.
Yeah.
Has anybody made bad decisions with their stream because of viewers?
Oh, I make bad decisions on purpose so I can improve better.
No, but obviously, but like that's just called stream trial and error. What I mean
basically,
is,
yeah.
has somebody come to you and misled you on what was good about your stream?
Really good question. Let's see.
No?
No, I mean, I'm saying
all
a really
of
good
my
question.
poor decisions have been my own. Like I've been pretty conscious about that kind of thing since the start.
I mean,
think it's more dangerous. It's more dangerous to listen to other streamers and that want to tell you what to do. Oh, you should be more like this or like that, because they come from their own experience, and
You
they're
mean
not the
other
streamer
streamers
who
who
comes as a
are?
client.
You mean other streamers that aren't successful?
Yes, especially those.
Yeah, they seem to be the loudest.
They are, in my experience. Oh, you should do more of that.
And they've got bad.
All right.
They've got a terrible microphone set up, and their stream quality is just potato the whole time. Yeah.
Well, they just can't be consistent with what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely. Yeah.
Then when you have a viewer who's like, "Hey, you should play Cyberpunk 2076 something."
77. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go play
Oh,
my
my
favorite
answer
game.
is, oh, I wish.
Everybody told me to play Bloodborne, and I did it, and it killed my stream when I did it. Even though I was good at the game, I like breezed through it, no problem. And I had like 3 to 6 viewers, which is like half or less than what my normal viewership was just playing like
Were you
Rocket
having
League
fun?
or even Apex.
Were you having fun with it?
No, because of course I was having fun with the game. I like the game, but I wasn't streaming the game to play the game and have fun. I was streaming the game to hang out and meet new people. And so that didn't work, And everybody told me to play Bloodborne. Even like people with doing success and having success in the category. Empty Apartment says, I'll get regulars that may say stuff along the lines of, oh, this game again, or they're tired of the said game I've been focused on, but it's been good for the channel. Yeah, you go. That's again like where the bad advice from the viewers, where they're trying to direct your channel. I got that too all the time.
I do take it in consideration, but it's most likely a no for me every time.
What do you mean?
Just no, like when somebody suggested that I play Cyberpunk, and I'm like, it won't work for me. Just I'm not that type of person. Cyberpunk isn't for me. That's what I'd say. I played it off stream. I know what it's like. I just don't see that I'd be entertaining people while playing the game. Let alone me just playing the game.
Yeah.
Would you
Go ahead.
Would you allow me to take you into a story of my evolution as an internet consumer to the place where I am today as a streamer? Because I think there's some insight in there that you might like.
Well, just tell us.
Okay.
You're asking for permission.
My first contact with... Yeah, well, I don't want to, hoard the... I don't want to hold the time. But I first went into contact with the internet through the old IRC channels.
Mm-hmm.
Chatting with people. And that allowed me to, see how people act and react to the point where I was elected moderator, and I didn't need to use the ban to get people to shut up. I would just interact with them and they would comply or just get out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I went into MMOs, and I noticed that the game itself was not the core of what made the game work. Like World of Warcraft, if you came into the game with no friends, you would have no fun. You would have to make friends in the game, which was immensely difficult. And then be part of the guild to access the most intensive content, the most fun content of it. So under that light, I understood that being part of a community is much more important than what that community does. Of course, you go for the Dungeons and Dragons, but you stay because you make friends. If you don't make friends in your community, even if it's someone you enjoy, you will just get the fuck out at some point. It won't be for you anymore. So a stream, in my opinion, is a campfire, and you are the storyteller. You are the master of ceremony. You are the one presenting this particular screen where people decide to stay or leave.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So
people are there for you.
What was the question?
I just said people are there for you.
Not necessarily for how you present what you're doing. We come back to presentation, right?
Well, that's what you bring to the stream. If you just sit there on the stream, then people aren't there for you.
No, exactly. and no, you're right. But also you decide, and when you play Bloodborne, you decide, we'll go with the door. Will I go immediately in the challenge mode? Will I take it easy so I am relaxed and I can have time to joke with the game and do silly stuff and be with my friends? That's how you make your game plan.
Yeah.
That's that because you are introducing people to you playing the game. You're not playing the game with your friends.
That's a difficult one. Like, it's kind of in the same vein as like, if the value of your stream is I play game, that's not enough value. And if your value of your stream is I play game with friends, again, right? Like, okay.
No, you have to know your strength and play on them, and you have to take the time to see what's going on with your stream, right?
Yeah.
If you have 2 viewers and they're not talking, well, I guess that's okay that you keep on doing what you're doing. But if someone comes along and says hello, you better say hello, and you better ask them, hey, how did you find me? So you know what they're here for. If they are here for the hat, when I have my hat on, I would shake the hat so the googly eyes go all wrong. See?
Sword Berserk brought up something that was interesting. His community was trying to get him to play more multiplayer games, and he says, I find the entire ordeal of doing multiplayer anything is too much to set up and have very low viewership. So sometimes I just gotta say that I can't make it happen. Yeah, Sword. It's also very difficult to do co-streams like that, and do them well, so that everybody's happy. If you're doing them with another streamer, I find that it can be helpful to, if you're going to do any kind of multiplayer thing, it should be like more of a scheduled event, and there's got to be like a deeper reason behind it. There's like a better narrative than just, hey, I'm playing a multiplayer game with people, like League of Legends or Rainbow Six Siege or something. It's just not enough. Typically, if you can add some extra value to it with those people and turn it to like a semi-podcast type thing where there's good discussions going on, and you've got people that are used to like hanging out and being interesting on stream, that can be good. But if it's just like playing multiplayer games with random people, like from your chat, hey, can I play with you? That opens up a lot of difficulty, especially if it's when it's other streamers that are like, they barely have any viewers, and they don't really understand. Oh my god, I've had so many people come onto my stream and just break TOS like crazy, like in voice chat, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, you can't do that anymore because of TOS. If it wasn't there to be broken, people wouldn't choose to do that.
The solution he came up with was to play multiplayer games in like scheduled times in his Discord, which is the best answer. Do the stuff people want you to do on Twitch in Discord. It's a streaming platform. It's a more private streaming platform, but that's what it's for. You spend 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 2 hours playing the game in Discord with those people hanging out, rather than doing it on Twitch and like starving your channel of growth. That's the right solution. I think more people need to do Discord streams. And guess what? You can even like just stream with OBS and your camera and everything. You can have the exact stream that you're setting up for Twitch and run it through Discord. 100% it is doable. You just pop out a preview window and share that in Discord as an application, and you get your capture card audio, you get everything. As long as it's monitored, you get it. So there are ways to set it up. I'll probably make a YouTube video on how to do that, actually. I'll put that on the list because that one's a pretty important one. Figuring out how to screen share your OBS experience properly can be really helpful. Even for casual streams where at least you still have like a camera and it feels like a stream to the people who are hanging out and watching. And the other thing,
that's a really good idea.
Yeah, the other way to kind of expand on this too. Discord is like the thing most people are failing at. They put it together and they just think it's this chat thing and maybe a place to go play games and voice with people once in a while. And I use Discord like crazy for meetings, screen share. Like I'm screen sharing with people all the time. I have a whole setup, OBS setup, to screen share my my media setup so that we can watch shows together, movies, pretty much anything, even in like HDR and like 4K and all of that business. So it is very versatile and functional to grab. You can really push the boundaries with your community with Discord. You can host a movie night that is insane, incredible quality. You can watch shows together. I've done this with lots of friends, or we'll get together and we'll watch through a show on Discord. I do it pretty much every night with Tacos. We watch through a ton of Korean shows. If you're into movies or you're into shows or you're into stuff, you can invite people to do that stuff with you, and this creates a bigger bond with your community by doing that stuff. Discord is also a great tool for co-streaming. Hylian Pickles is doing it like crazy with Four Swords. Tell us how you're doing the Four Swords thing, Pickles.
How I'm doing
because
the Four Swords.
It's not straight. It's not just like you. It's not just people. You've got green screens going on. You've got for the people who are using a green screen, you've got their green screen set up properly through the screen share. You've got people are playing the game right through Discord, like they're actually playing the game with you through the screen share.
Sometimes, yeah. So the way it's set up is
you're playing Four Swords with 4 people. So tell us how this. Yeah. Break it down for us. How did you make this work?
So we're using Dolphin. We're using all of like my stuff for that. And Dolphin has NetPlay, so you can play online to varying degrees of success and stability. So I have all that set up.
Okay, so you're not using like Parsec or something to get the controls, right? Which is the other way to do it, where you would use.
Yeah.
I think in Steam they even have a thing where if you share, you can like do like a group play and other people can control the game.
Yeah, but the Steam one has like really bad latency. But so we're using Dolphin for the play part, and then I'm capturing the GameCube screen and the 4 Game Boy Advance screens for each of us.
Oh, so you see the Game Boy Advance screens through the NetPlay?
Yes.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
How are you doing cameras then?
And then cameras, I just I have the guys share their cameras with no effects.
Right, and then Discord, you green screen it.
And then I green screen it, yeah. And then I move around and arrange them from there on my end as well.
It's great.
I put a lot of the workload on me so I can just control it
the
best and they don't have to think about it.
Right, that makes it really easy. Especially if you know that the layout isn't going to shift. Like, there's a risk if you're doing... Like, for the podcast, the way I have it set up is because someone might disconnect. And then we've got this... The layout, like, shifts. Like, the windows move around in Discord when you're doing the sharing.
Yeah.
There's no way to control that. And so, rather than dealing with the nightmare of people connecting late or disconnecting or whatever and it screwing up overlays and all that stuff, I have it set up like I simplified those issues. Basically I prioritized those things. So but if you're putting on a show like you are with your stream and the Four Swords gameplay and stuff, doing it the way you're doing it sounds like it's a good idea, because then you really get to like control everything. Yeah. So I like to have, so there's 2 ways to approach this. If you want to have your co-stream like kind of broadly opened a little bit so that if somebody shows up and that they want to join and it doesn't break everything, you need to have it like set up to cater towards that environment. And if you have it set up so that it's going to be for sure like this is the show, this is the four of us, then you can kind of cater towards that creation. But again, Discord's like this crazy thing that streamers are just not utilizing. This thing is a voice chat. It's like Pickles is putting on a whole entire like retro co-stream crazy thing with Discord. That's
Yep.
And like Sword said, it is very clean. It's very nice. Very nice to use. Yeah, most Discords are dead. And I think that's not really something you can fix right away and fix easily.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it needs to be fixed directly, but I do think it just as a resource and a tool, Discord needs to be expanded upon. And one of the ways to do that, what my plan, I created a Discord for us to watch shows and movies in together as a community for IQ and viewers, and more just kind of like the movie night thing is hard to do. And when you have you go do a movie night in your Discord and 2 people show up, that can be tough. And then you try to invite another streamer to come do the movie night with them, but then they want to do it in their Discord, and then everybody's just going and doing their own movie night. I'm doing mine over here, and you're doing yours over there. We're watching the same movie, but 2 people are with me, and 2 people are with them, and it's just like all over the place. So we made the Watch With Us Discord, which we'll be expanding upon in the future and creating like events, and as a more centralized place for streamers to kind of do their movie nights and watch shows and stuff, and so they can invite their community to it, to watch the movie or watch the show there. And it also can become more like a centralized Discord for viewers, so if Highly and Pickles does a movie night in the Discord, it's more likely that if Gingin's been doing movie nights in the Discord, that his people will see that this other movie night's doing. Again, you can grab people and bring them to Highland's thing, and you can even kind of piggyback on each other's movie nights and be like, hey, we're having a movie night, we're doing it over here, and now you bring 3 people, I bring 3 people, we start all bringing 3 people, and we got a nicer little group to watch the movie. It feels a little more successful than just trying to do a movie night to 2 or 3 people or 1 person in your Discord.
Yeah, collaboration helps.
It really does.
Collaboration, boosts up mentality.
Yeah. So, and that's not going to happen overnight, no matter what. It's going to be, it's very hard to do that kind of stuff, but it can become easier if we kind of all work on it together. So, yeah, Source says everyone has Discord, but most Discords are dead. Again, like, doesn't have to be your Discord doesn't have to be the most important thing. It's just a nice place to share stuff once in a while and let people kind of connect with you. I don't think your Discord has to be like this, novel is being written every day by 20 different people. That can be even hard to follow for people. So it's better to just have it as a space to do stuff and kind of organize things. Discord's also a great tool for streamers to store their files and back up like their OBS settings and stuff. You can create channels that no one can see using roles and make it so that you can back up like your graphics and your stream stuff and your fonts and your colors, and it's all there. It's ready to go. It's accessible. So I would encourage all streamers to either use Google Drive for that stuff and Discord, or just use Google Drive, whatever. Just back up your stuff. Google Drive makes it easy because you can just keep it on your computer and auto back it up. But I like to use Discord too.
Google Drive has 2 terabyte, I think.
I think the free one's 2 terabyte is like $10 a month, I think.
The free one's like 15 gigabytes.
Yeah, 15. That's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I can check because I only use the free one.
Yeah. So Discord is a good place to do it if you're collaborating with other people, and as a secondary backup. You can just drop stuff in Discord, and then if you have an artist or something, it's really easy to just copy the thing from Discord and paste it and link it over, or invite if you have a manager or somebody you're working with on your stream, you can invite them to see all that stuff, and then they have access to your graphics, and they can drop files. Like that's how I do it with my clients. Is we use Discord as like a giant space to share things. It's much easier to set up Discord that way than it is to get Google Drive working. Google Drive's a little actually less intuitive, although Discord is much more robust and complicated.
Which one is more better to search, and find the items that you're looking for? Is it the Discord or Google Drive?
Ask this again. Sorry, I was lost in chat.
Okay, when you're looking for a file, right? Which platform is easier to find a file in Discord or to find a file in Google Drive?
They're relatively the same easiness. The difficulty
depends on how you named them.
Yeah, and the difficulty is more in line with file organization for both of them. It's very convoluted in Google, where if you create a new folder, it may not be shared, and then you have to re-invite the person. There's all this like invitation process where you're like, oh, I made this new folder with files in it, but you can't see it, so now I have to put your email address in, and what was your email address again? Like, managing that side of it can be more of a pain, whereas Discord, you just create a category with the right roles, and it's a one and done thing. So then you just make a new channel, or you put the files up, and it's just, the person can see it. There's no confusion. So it's a little bit more friendly in the user interface aspect of what's being shared in Discord, but it's also a little more complicated because you have to like go through and make roles and say no, you guys can't see this, but you can, kind of thing. So long term, I think Discord's better for that kind of thing. If it's a collaborative experience, then Google Drive. Google Drive's better if you're doing big files. There's file limitations with Discord, but if it's mostly just basic graphics and short videos, Discord's fine. Sword of Berserk said, I'd almost prefer, instead of each streamer having a ton of channels in their Discord for everything, having Discords for each of those categories, and having like-minded... that's exactly... like Pickle said, it's exactly what the Watch With Us Discord is for. So that... we all watch movies and TV shows together. It's a place to watch stuff, YouTube videos, whatever. It's a place to do the screen share thing and do it right. And it also allows us to like kind of collaborate and contribute. Like if you have Nitro and you have boosts, like just boosting random servers for no reason, it helps nobody. But if we all put one boost into the Watch With Us Discord, now we all we have a place that when we do a movie night, it's a 1080p stream for anybody who's streaming, right? Instead of just like, well, I've got 3 boosts, and I've got 3 boosts, and I've got 3 boosts, and like we need like 15 or whatever to get to 1080p 60 streaming for everyone. So if 15 people use their one free Nitro boost that they just like slapped on someone's server, it's not helping anybody. That can really, now everybody in that Discord is actually benefiting from that boost. So
you got a boost, and you got a boost.
Yeah, for sure. So man, that was a lot of topics today. I feel like we should probably wrap up here.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining in the conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Sonny.
It's always good.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Next week we'll be doing another channel review. Hopefully it's on the schedule. I'll let you guys know. We've got let's see, Sunday I'll be the art stream is kind of up in the air right now. I'll let you guys know if I'm going to be live on Sunday doing art. Monday we'll have a new YouTube video. I'll probably do Discord. Now that we did all this stuff, I should just do the Discord video. And Wednesday will be another episode of the podcast. Snazzy will be back, and what are we talking about? I already forgot, Pickles. My mind can't get there. Do you remember?
We are talking about
putting on a show.
Yeah, underproducing, overproducing. Putting on a show instead of just turning on the camera.
Yeah, so some of what we talked about today, actually. So that'll be good. if you guys are interested in joining Infinite Quality as a community, go to infinitequality.live and apply. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, or dislike if that's your thing. Leave a comment because it really helps. Everybody, please go just make a smiley emoji or something. Leave a comment on the YouTube videos. That would be really helpful if the IQ community would start pushing, because that would help the algorithm a lot. If you guys want to support what we're doing, you really believe in this kind of content, we have a Patreon. Just for the price of a sub on Twitch, you can really support this and help us expand and do more. So go to infinitequality.live. There's a support page. You can look for the support button, or if you just go to infinitequality.live/support, you can read about supporting IQ financially if you can afford it and that's your thing. Again, I really appreciate everybody. Nobody has to support, and I appreciate those that do, because if it wasn't for the people that are supporting, we wouldn't even have what we have now. So thank you guys. We will catch you in the next one. Have a good one.
Later. All right, everybody. Gotta go.